Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is time for the NXT Event Center from events from the NXT Wrestling Show on the CW Network, plus matches from NXT Level Up. And now, here's the host of the show, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 1859 of the show. And this will be talking about the NXT, the final NXT before Deadline this coming Saturday. I'll be making the big predictions at the end. Well, but first and foremost, we'll talk about what happened on NXT Level Up this past Friday, November 29th, 2024. Drake Moreau went one-on-one with Harlan Lewis. These are two big young and up-and-comers. They fought each other like crazy. But in the end, though, Drake Moreau, the Bayou Boy, wins the match. Sarah Schreiber was interviewing Laney Reed about finding a partner going up against Tyra May Steele and Layla Diggs, and Callie Armstrong says, "Hey, we're not friends, but I'll team with you." And she says, "Thanks," and all that. And Tyra May Steele, the women's Olympic gold medalist, and Layla Diggs took on Laney Reed and Callie Armstrong, and Diggs and Steele finally got their first victory as a tag team. I think those two ladies, if they stay as a tag team, they'd be a threat to the women's tag team titles down the road. Cutler James, Dion Lennox were talking and working out, and when Cutler James goes, "You see what's going on, between Ashanti and Dion? What about you, Ashanti, and Carmen and Nikita?" He said, "Don't get me started on that." And Brinley Reese, he said, "Don't get me started on that." And then Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon were interrupting them, poking fun at them. "Hey, it's a great value Superman. Hey, Dumb and Dumber got jokes. We'll see you in the ring." And Cutler James and Dion Lennox took on the team of Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon. And Dixon and Connors won when Kale Dixon grabbed the tights of Dion Lennox. And Lennox and Connors were not, Lennox and James were not very happy. All right, let's talk about what happened this past NXT tonight. The Women's Iron Survivor qualifier in the final last chance in the fatal four-way. Jada Parker versus Ren Sinclair, Kaylani Jordan and Cora Jade. They fought tooth and nail in this matchup until Lola Vice gets involved, attacking, trying to get at Jada Parker. Ren Sinclair, she ends up decking Ren Sinclair in the face, and she lands on top of Cora Jade. And Sinclair made the pin, and she'll join the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. She'll join Zoruka, Stephanie Fakir, Zarya, and Julia in that Women's Iron Survivor matchup. Meanwhile, Jada Parker was attacked by Vice after the matchup, but then Jada Parker comes back out, calls out Lola Vice, and says, "You want the underground match? Let's do it now." Ava says, "Nope." Ava comes out and says, "Nope. You're going to do it this Saturday at Deadline." And Lola Vice comes out, says she has no problem. And then she tries to get into the ring. She gets knocked out by Jada Parker. We'll see what happens there. And then you got Dion Lennox and Brinley Reese talking to Carmen Petrovich. And somebody sent her roses. And who are the roses from? You know who. And there was a note. Carmen Petrovich goes, "Okay. That's fine." As Carmen Petrovich was getting ready for her match against Nikita Lyons. Then the number one contenders tag, Nathan Frazier and Action were talking about Deadline and the tag team battle royal. And of course they were arguing. Well, so there's that. And then you get the number one contenders tag team battle royal. The D'Angelo family versus OTM versus the team of Josh Briggs and the newcomer Yoshiki Inamura, Hank and Tank, Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe, Gallus Boys, and the No Quarter Catch Crew team of Tymian Heights and Miles Bourne. At the end, though, it was between Tank Ledger, Miles Bourne, and Lucian Price of OTM. And They both kicked OTM as Lucian Price had wanted to go off the ropes. He landed his nads on the turnbuckle. Miles Bourne throws out Tank Ledger and then ends up drop kicking Lucian Price out of the ring, giving No Quarter Catch Crew the number one contenders match, for the number one contendership, and they'll fight Fraxium for the tag titles at Deadline. Eric Bischoff comes out and addresses the state of NXT, praising it, saying it's going to revolutionize the business once again. And then he announces Trick Williams and Ridge Holland. He talked to both gentlemen. Both gentlemen were trash talking. They started brawling, and Ridge Holland slams Williams onto the announcer's table with his variation of the DDT. And then Sarah Schreiber was reporting on Williams' condition. He said Ava is with him. So we go to Carmen Petrovic going one-on-one with Nikita Lyons. This is a great matchup between both ladies, experts in the martial arts field. But in the end, Petrovic won the match because Ashante Diaz came out, got involved, shoves Petrovic out of the way, gets hit by Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons trash talks. Petrovic hits her with a spin kick. 1, 2, 3. And then she looks over at Ashante because you pushed me. Why? Oh, so there's that. Sean Spears was talking to Brooks Jensen and Nico Vance as, Sean Spears is looking forward to unleash Nico Vance. Could he be? Never mind. But then he says, he needs one more piece of the puzzle. And he looks at Tatum Paxton and Gigi Dolan were talking and says, I'm looking forward to seeing your match tonight. And she goes, yeah, thanks. Whatever. And so Tatum Paxton looks at Gigi and goes, he's creepy. And that's coming from me. Meanwhile, No Quarter Catch Crew was celebrating their victories. Because Ren Sinclair did win her matchup. And Charlie Dempsey says, you're going to win the Iron Survivor Challenge. You guys are going to be walking away with the tag team titles. So, Gigi Dolan went one-on-one with Izzy Dame as Fatal Influence when watching the matchup from the locker room. And Sean Spears scouts from ringside. Sean Spears, dude, stop scouting the other women. You got an iconic, inspirational Australian beauty for a wife at home, and she's also a mother to your son. Dude, don't check out the other ladies. No. Sean Spears, you're getting creepy. If you keep it up, she's going to make you sleep on the couch. So, here we go. Meanwhile, during the matchup, though, Izzy Dame kicked Tatum Paxley in the face during the matchup, but Gigi Dolan hit the Gigi driver, taking advantage of the situation, ends up picking up the victory. Meanwhile, Sarah Schreiber was in there, and Javon Evans, and X-Pac comes out, interrupts the interview. He said, I'm a big fan of yours. Javon Evans was really giddy, and he's like listening, he's like really excited. He goes, dude, I was your age when I beat Razor Ramon, and it took me straight to the top. And then all of a sudden, they do the click thing and everything else, and Javon Evans goes, I'm going to go off this Saturday. So you got that. And I think he was hyped. He was hyped with X-Pac's words, man. Totally cool. Then they had the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. Lexis King versus Axiom versus Cedric Alexander versus Eddie Thorpe. Ethan Page was joining on commentary while Wes Lee, Nathan Frazier, and Javon Evans were watching all over the place. Eddie Thorpe picked up the victory. Ava then was trying to update Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner, and she says that the match will still happen. He insisted the match will still happen. Cora Jade and Eddie Thorpe did interrupt him. Cora Jade was complaining about the fatal four-way, and Stevie Turner tried to explain. She goes, "Oh, I hate this place," and Cora Jade walks out saying, "I hate this place." Eddie Thorpe goes, "Where's Ava? She's not. Oh, she's with the champ. Tell her it was a wise decision not to suspend me. I'm going to win this Iron Survivor Challenge." And then Roxanne Perez comes out, addresses the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, says nobody can beat her. The rest of you Women's Iron Survivor Challenge participants came out, started brawling. Ren Sinclair knocks out Roxanne Perez, holds the title, said, I'm going to be the next champ. And then Eddie Thorpe was laid out. Who could have done it? A lot of people were speculating. Could be Pentagon Jr., who is a free agent from a free agent after being released by AEW. Who knows? It could be him. It could be The Rock, who could be going all out Papa Bear, because Eddie Thorpe put his hands on Ava, and that's his real life daughter. A lot of people are speculating that. But with him doing pressers for Moana 2 and Red One, both out in theaters right now, I don't think it would be him. He'd be too busy doing all those pressers. Then you got Obafemi. We have not heard from him in quite a while. Could he be the guy to lay out Eddie Thorpe? Or could he take Eddie Thorpe's spot in the Iron Survivor Challenge? Well, we'll find out for sure. So let's go down the list of the matches. The Iron Survivor Challenge goes like this. Match is 25 minutes. First two start. Every 5 minutes, another wrestler enters until the last one comes in at the 15-minute mark. You score a point by pinfall, submission, being a victim of disqualification. If that happens, you get a point. If the person gets pinned in the matchup, they go to the penalty box for about 30 seconds, I think. That's the case. And this all goes on until at the end of 25 minutes, whoever has the most points will be the number one contender for either the NXT title and the NXT Women's title for the matchup at New Year's Eve. So, the men's Iron Survivor: Wesley, Javon Evans, Nathan Frazier, Ethan Page, and Eddie Thorpe. I know two people are not going to win this matchup: Nathan Frazier and Eddie Thorpe. And Javon Evans is still young. Between Ethan Page and Wesley, I'm picking Ethan Page to win that matchup. The Women's Iron Survivor Challenge: Sol Ruka versus Stephanie Vicaire, Zaria, Julia, and Ren Sinclair. I'm picking Julia to win that matchup. Trick Williams defending the NXT title against Rich Holland. I'm picking Williams to retain. Fraxium, Nathan Frazier will defend the tag team titles against No Quarter Catch Crew's Miles Bourne, Damian Heights. I predict new champions No Quarter Catch Crew. And then finally, an NXT Underground matchup with basically a wrestling match with no ropes. Jada Parker versus Lola Vice. I pick Lola Vice to win that matchup. So that is all the time we have on this episode of 1859 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. If you want to hear the picks and predictions, I will be making those same picks and predictions on the Rant and Rave podcast this coming Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.